vocal cords ready, blood sugar replenished. Let the show begin!
Hey there, travelers! Welcome back to Farina Impact, your go-to channel for Genshin Impact leaks and updates. Today, we're diving deep into the beta kit of Lanyan, the upcoming 4-star Anemo Catalyst user in Genshin Impact. With her arrival on the horizon, let's break down everything you need to know about her abilities, passives, and constellations so that you're fully prepared to maximize her potential. But before that, thanks for the amazing response for my previous video regarding Citlali beta kit explanation. I will try to do more such character-related videos along with Genshin leaks. So subscribe and like this video to support this channel. Now onto the video. Alright, let's start with Lanyan's normal attack, titled Black Pheasant Strides on Water. As a Catalyst user, all of her attacks deal Anemo damage, which is perfect for triggering swirl reactions. Lanyan performs a series of 4 attacks with her ring blades, which are her primary weapon of choice. These attacks are quick and can consistently trigger reactions, especially in multi-element teams. Her charged attack consumes a certain amount of stamina to launch a more powerful ring blade, dealing increased Anemo damage to her targets. This can be a great way to deal with clusters of enemies when you need some extra punch. Her plunging attack is pretty standard. It deals AoE Anemo damage when she lands, which is useful in situations where you need to spread out damage to a group of enemies. Although her plunging attack isn't the focus of her kit, it's nice to have for those situations where you're attacking from higher ground or falling into a group of enemies. Now let's move on to her elemental skill, which is where Lanyan starts to shine. It's called Phoenix Wisp Pinion Dance, and it's a 2-part skill that offers both mobility and damage. When you activate it, Lanyan dashes forward, creating a Phoenix Wisp shield that absorbs damage based on her ATK. This shield is particularly useful for absorbing Anemo damage because it has 250% absorption efficiency against Anemo-based attacks. This means if you're up against Anemo enemies, you've got a solid defense in place. After dashing forward, Lanyan leaps into the air, and if you press the skill again while she's airborne, she'll throw Feather Moon rings at enemies. These rings will spin around twice, hitting nearby opponents and dealing Anemo damage. The spinning action means they can hit multiple enemies in close proximity, which is excellent for AoE damage or triggering swirl reactions across multiple targets. If you hold the skill instead, Lanyan enters an aiming mode, allowing you to manually adjust the direction of her dash. This flexibility in her movement makes her a mobile and strategic character, whether you're dodging attacks or trying to set up for better crowd control. Next, let's talk about her elemental burst, Lustrous Moonrise. When you activate her burst, Lanyan creates the Feather Moon Swallow Array, which pulls in nearby enemies and objects before dealing multiple instances of AoE Anemo damage. This crowd control effect is incredibly useful for gathering enemies in one place, allowing you to follow up with heavier damage from other party members. Not only does it deal solid damage, but the continuous Anemo damage means it's easier to trigger swirl reactions, amplifying your overall damage potential in fights. Now that we've covered her primary abilities, let's move on to Lanyan's passive talents. The first passive talent she unlocks is 4 Sealing Divination Blades. This passive adds a fascinating layer to her elemental skill. When Lanyan's Phoenix Wisp shield interacts with Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, or Electro. While dashing, it undergoes elemental conversion, meaning the shield will absorb damage from that corresponding element with 250% efficiency. This not only makes Lanyan more resilient to a variety of elemental attacks, but it also changes the behavior of her Feather Moon rings. After the shield absorbs an element, the rings will deal elemental damage based on that absorbed element, giving her more versatility in battle. Imagine having an Anemo user who can consistently adapt to the enemy's elemental attacks. This is a huge asset in tough domains or boss fights. Her second passive, Skyfeather Evil Subduing Charm, adds even more depth to her skill set. It increases the damage dealt by her elemental skill and burst based on her elemental mastery. Specifically, her elemental skill gets a 309% damage boost, while her elemental burst gets a massive 774% damage increase. So, if you're thinking of how to build her, keep Elemental Mastery in mind. Not only will it help her spread elemental reactions like Swirl, but it will also significantly boost her personal damage output. Alright, now let's dive into her Constellations, which make her even stronger if you're lucky enough to pull multiple copies of her. At C1, titled As One Might Stride Betwixt the Clouds, when Lanyan triggers elemental conversion using her passive talent, her Feather Moon rings generate an additional ring when thrown. This means even more damage and swirl reactions, as you'll have another attack bouncing between enemies, making her even more effective at dealing with groups. At C2, Dance Vestments billow like rainbow jade, while her Phoenix Wisp shield is active. If your active party member lands a normal attack, 40% of the shield's damage absorption is restored. This effect can trigger once every 2 seconds. This gives her extra sustain in fights, as the shield is constantly regenerating when your team deals damage. Essentially, it ensures that Lanyan's shield lasts longer, giving your team more protection in longer fights. C3 is called On White Wings Pierce Through Cloud and Fog, and it increases the level of her elemental skill by 3, up to a maximum of 15. This is a straightforward constellation, but it makes her Phoenix Wisp Pinion Dance much more powerful, both in terms of shield strength and damage output. At C4, with Drake Falcon's Blood Pearls adorned, after using her Elemental Burst, the elemental mastery of all nearby party members increases by 60 for 12 seconds. This makes her a great team player, boosting the damage of other characters who rely on reactions like Melt, Vaporize, or Overload. If you're running her in a team that focuses on reactions, this constellation is a huge support boost. C5, Having Met You, My Heart is Gladdened, is similar to C3, but it increases the level of her Elemental Burst by 3, up to a maximum of 15. Again, this simply makes her burst hit harder and last longer, which is always a welcome addition. Finally, we've got C6 Let Us Away on Sylphic Wing, the silvered ornaments to ring. This grants Lanyan's elemental skill an additional charge, meaning you can dash more frequently, throw more Feather Moon rings, and generate shields more often. Having that extra charge makes her playstyle much more fluid, allowing you to reposition more often and keep up her damage and defensive capabilities. And there you have it. Lanyan's kit is packed with mobility, crowd control, and damage, all while offering excellent swirl reactions and a unique playstyle with her shield mechanics. Whether you're looking for a support or shielder, Lanyan brings a lot to the table. And as 5.3 update is also a Lantern Rite patch, we will be getting a free Lanyan 4-star selector. This 4-star selector also features Lanyan in it, so we can get Lanyan C0 without ever pulling on any banners. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching till the end. Subscribe and like this video if you find this video informative. See you all the next video. Bye for now.